Time you switch pod. The boys are back. How are
Yes,
you, Chris?
sir. Quarters, I'm feeling frosty and icy the side, nice and chilled. Playoffs coming up, so I'm good. How's it going your side?
Slightly disappointed in the weekend results. Lions just a bridge too far. Ospreys,
Yeah,
you will pay for this one day. But yeah, the Dan Carters of podcasting here to give you those opinions and flagrant takes. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple
Mm,
Podcasts, and here, of course. First, let's get into playoffs. Bulls versus Benetton. A repeat of the Rainbow Cup final, which the Bulls lost. They'll be looking to
yeah.
avenge that defeat. And Stormers going away to Glasgow Warriors, fully expecting both South African teams to win, and that's not a
Yeah,
biased opinion, but I think the Bulls
yeah,
will just have too much against Benetton, which they did a few weeks ago, and Stormers I just think are a better version of what the Warriors are.
yeah. Look, I think Bulls on they must just be careful because Benetton did, have a little bit of a look in, so
Yeah.
if the Bulls just tighten up their D, don't let them in because it's knockout, so it's a bit tighter maybe. Yeah, and they're at home, so I think they'll take it. Glasgow, again, it's a tough assignment. It's knockouts, so Stormers as well. I think with the team that they've got, the place where they're at now, the results
Yeah.
they've been getting away from home. Yeah, I really agree with you there. That we expect from a South African point of view that they win. But it don't be easy. They need to make sure that
Some
all
will be
the
easy.
samurai swords are sharp.
Personally, I believe some I believe will be easy. Benetton, I
Yeah.
believe will be easy.
Yeah, look,
But
you know me. I'll approach it with a bit of, I'll respect the Italian guys a little bit, you know. You must remember, they had that guy that said they've been eating shit for a long time. So, hey,
yeah.
Italian teams, so you gotta
Anyway,
respect them a little bit there,
yeah, I guess so. Let's move on to a bit of news there with the Sharks. The Sharks had their prize giving. Besides Siamasuku picking up some awards there, they said
Yeah.
farewell to a few players. Cohen Bosch, we knew was rumored to leave this week. It got confirmed finally after years of speculation and after years of
Yeah.
him promising to fulfill potential, which, if we're being honest, he never really did. Um, and
Look, he left
Apua
with the medal.
Janchi.
Leave him alone.
Okay, yeah, okay, he left to
He'll
them.
be good
The
for the
thing is,
others.
the thing is, you're happy because you got Sia Masuku
Yeah.
now. But if there was no Masuku, you would be saying he can go, it's fine, he can go, he can. But because Masuku's there, things are on the up.
I'm saying,
You know,
Arambe.
yeah, it's a peaceful departure. It's a peaceful departure.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Apua Janchi going to the Bulls as well. Surprise move. Hopefully he'll get
Yeah,
some minutes in the Curry Cup. He'll be able to find his feet, find form. Because yeah, I've always
yeah.
got high hopes for him.
And yeah, and maybe, maybe he'll, look, nobody's saying he'll come back and be a Bok again and whatnot, but hopefully he can be at the top level consistently,
Yeah,
under Jake and maybe win some things there with the Bulls,
yeah.
in the future. Yeah, or just then impart his knowledge, so maybe good for him, good change.
Other guys there, Noche was said that he was going to the Stormers, but Dobu came out this morning and
Ish.
said, not for me, maybe somewhere else, but not for me. I
That
don't
is
know.
boy.
You could have
So
rather just
now I'm
said no
good.
comment instead of saying, I hope he
Yeah.
finds a contract somewhere
So
else.
now I'm good.
We'll do at the Lions, we'll take him as long as he leaves the injuries. But some of the other
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
we won't take them. So I'm looking at some of those other guys. We won't take them. But
No, I recommend them. I'm just giving a good letter of recommendation. Just take them. Let the boys play. So I think it'll be good all around. I think the Sharks doing their cleansing.
yeah,
They've gone to the ocean. They've done their thing. They've picked out
yeah,
the lambs. So now they are out. So they need to build on what they're trying to achieve. They've got
yeah.
Challenge Cup and the Champions Cup next, also URC. So yeah, hopefully for them they can put it together, make it work. That's the missing pieces, making it work with all the big names. So
Yeah,
yeah, going
bringing
to
in
be
some
interesting
big names
times.
there. Bringing in
Mm,
some Esterhazen, Yakani, Hendrickse. But
mm,
yeah, let's go to the weekend's game. Stormers versus Lions. Lions coming into this game needing the win. I did say they wouldn't get it. I thought it's just a bridge too far. And I was right. I was right, but I was almost wrong. And I was
you're right,
happy
but
that I
you're
was
almost
almost
wrong.
wrong. Even in the end, we could
Yeah,
have made it. Even in the end, we could have made it. But Ospreys, again, you'll pay for your sins one day.
you
Um,
know,
this game, Lions, you could see from early on what they were trying to do, and that made me have more confidence in watching them. You could see that they were trying to put the pressure onto the Stormers, kicking, offensive defense, putting pressure
yeah.
on a lot of the guys. Sasha, I am a hater at times of his. I think that he is good
No, he
in
stood
the
out.
Filmsa role of 12
He
and
stood out.
15. And I have to
Yeah.
say he did as well as he could have done. I can't see putting in a better
No,
performance.
he
So
stood
so
out.
so I
He
will
stood
say
out.
he did, and he does show his quality. And this is the thing that you want to see, is that he's showing his quality more consistently, which
Yeah.
maybe isn't a problem of his because it's injury, but
Yeah.
alas, um, yeah, I think they just put a lot of pressure on them, and with that offensive defense, we saw even Similani, a lot of pressure on him, two slice kicks, which led to two tries. He had a game to forget. And you could see the
Yeah. True.
way that the Lions were sort of going about it, because they knew scrums, Stormers are dominating. Nittling Fushia had
Mhm.
4 penalties, one against Morgan O'Dear. Go forward ball, Evan Ruiz split us down the middle
Mm.
twice. We couldn't match them in that way. So it was clever the way that they were playing and putting the pressure on.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, the pragmatic approach for the Lions, also, taking the points when they were on offer, almost realizing the magnitude of what they wanted to achieve. I think
Yeah,
for them, even if it was by 1 point, they were going to take it, and they were setting themselves up to be in a position to to land that knockout punch. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them. They also lost some guys, as the game went on, and they lost their shape a little bit. But you can't
yeah,
argue against the Stormers' work, in terms of especially their pack, their decision making, and then they're executing, to put the Lions away when they had those chances. So I think those are the subtle differences, and I think that there's a big tackle, big moment for Sasha, just basically two try-saving tackles,
yeah.
in one sequence of play. So that also is crucial as well. So all those little things, I think they're coming right for the Stormers at the right end of the season. So yeah, tough one for the Lions, but they can hold their heads high, very high. Looking forward to what they've got.
Yeah, the moral victory. Very disappointing, the moral victory. But
Yeah,
again, JC
look,
Pretorius,
it was
man
an
of the
outside chance,
match.
Portis.
Yeah, no,
We said, look, they can, they cannot. I think they'll learn, man. Give them
yeah,
time. Give
yeah. I will
them.
say, like you said, Angelo Davids, he caused a bit of a shuffle in a backline
Yeah,
there,
I
which
know.
also didn't
I
help. He put
I destroyer
put
that
two
guy.
guys to
No, man.
sleep.
Mm-mm. That guy's a destroyer, man. They say enemy of progress. No, that's what the enemy of progress looks like. It put you down, man.
So
It put you
yeah,
down.
that also didn't help the reshuffle, and then obviously Marius Lowe reverting to his
Mm.
flanker ways. Every now and again he forgets he's a center and goes back to being a flank. So I mean,
And
there were moments.
Lions discipline. That's
Yeah,
for me. That you can't have somebody that's been a leader to do that.
yeah,
Because all he needed was just keep calm. And they were going to put the pressure on and
yeah.
come away with 1 point. But alas,
I'm not even too mad at that. I like standing up for your guys, I like standing. So I'm not
yeah,
even too I'd say I'm more disappointed that we didn't convert. We got a penalty instead of where we should have been going for the try, and we should have got the try. We are right under the poles there. And then obviously the pivotal decision where Gianni Lombard didn't up and under, and then they said Alric I mean, Eric Cronje wasn't retreating, which
Yeah.
he wasn't even impacting on play. So I do think the ref bottled it. But yeah, for the Lions, good defense. Jacques Ferry, I have to
Mm,
say, earned his
yeah.
money. You have to say
He
Cash.
really did fix that defense, yeah.
Even the management, the game management with Cash, I have to say,
And
he's done
say it.
wonders.
And say it as well. And say it as well. You know who I'm saying. You
Ricardo
know
Losha. Yeah, he's not a fraud. Okay, he's not a fraud. He's not a fraud. Okay, Ricardo Losha is not a fraud.
I'm just saying,
Okay, so
like
I have to
he
say
did
the whole coaching
something.
group, well done to the whole coaching group. I have to say, in terms of the Stormers, um, yeah, the scrum, they've got it. Once they get it in the
Yeah,
wider channels, they've got it.
yeah,
Once they, they've got the go forward ball, they've got the maul. The only thing is to get it to the maul, you need the lineouts. The lineout is
yeah,
where they talk about Dweba missing lineouts. Hugo Fenter also missed some lineouts, which I think that's an issue. It's an area of concern. Ben Jason Dixon, I think he's going to be a balk. He disrupts
yeah.
play at vital
He
times.
did.
Evan Ruiz,
Mm,
those two major carries down the middle, he has to be a balk in terms of
he was
being
racing,
featured
man.
more heavily. Like, you need to
He was,
utilize that guy. He's a man versus boys.
yeah, he was doing his thing, and you could see that impact of his carry and the
Yeah,
purposefulness of his carries, and that he doesn't really go down easily with the ball. That's what I like about
yeah,
him, and just the intensity of his contact work. To get him those meters after the contact
yeah.
is it's very difficult to ignore. For the Bok jersey. Look, yeah, I'm there with him. To say, look, he's got to get a shot.
Yeah, a lot of good performances here. Hendricks at 12, he stepped up physically. He could also feature for
I
the
liked
Sharks at 12.
I liked, I
Um,
liked, I liked him. I liked him. I think so since he's moved to 12, he's playing in the centers, not only 12, even when he was at
yeah,
13. I think that's where it started actually, was that game where he was playing at 13, he just seemed more confident, and
yeah.
a different kind of threat for the Lions, so but
Yeah, there's
good good
performances.
good
Even
games.
yeah, I thought it was a brilliant game. Even Libok, I think, he
Yeah.
silently, he did the business. This is what you want to see: the kicks going over, the kicks
Mm.
for touch, putting them in good position. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he quietly had a good game. Even Herschel Yankee with
Yes.
fair flight. I think it's one of those things where it's just a good advertisement for SA rugby.
Well, it's a rugby for sure.
Yeah.
No, couldn't have said it better. Could have said it really was. And it had bag of a mix of everything. The
Mm.
physicality, the scuffles, scrum penalties, good tries, good running mauls, the defense,
Yeah.
all around good game. And it was, look, the Lions, they'll also, when they probably look at it, they'll see that they probably did have some opportunities where they could have put themselves in better positions, but they'll learn, and it'll be a better.
Yeah.
I think if they don't grow into this for next season, then I don't know.
Yeah.
But it'll be good for them, and for the Stormers, I think. Look, they're just in the right zone at the right time.
Yeah, I've said it in weeks past. I back the Stormers more than I'm backing. Obviously, the Bulls have better fixtures, but I'm backing the Stormers more in terms of them being a championship team than the Bulls. I think let's get
Yeah,
into the Bulls game now. The Bulls, Sharks hosting them, a bit of
yeah, but
a week full of champagne, a week full of hangovers, a week full of
yes, sir,
flights,
yes,
a
sir.
week full of, so it's a bit rested. Williams also rested,
Mm,
or maybe the hangovers were too much. We don't know, but you fully expected the Sharks to have a go. At the same time, the Bulls had to be serious and get the job done and not get pulled into just a loose open game, which they did get
yeah,
pulled into. But one of the funny thing is, one of the characteristics of this side is that their backline will bail them out at times. You saw they were
yeah,
they're not a typical Bulls team in the way that sometimes when the game is loose and open like that, it actually suits them.
Yeah, strangely,
Yeah,
strangely, because of the attacking weapons that they've got and the decision makers that they've got were in that sort of chaos, But at the same time, I think for them, the Sharks would have sort of opened them up to different pictures, going into the knockouts because I still, again, I back you on that, to say the Stormers look more of a better championship team than them.
yeah,
Particularly because there's no the giveaways that the Bulls they're running a bonanza where they
yeah.
give away soft points and that's what really got as soon as the Sharks got that first try they thought definitely they must have thought to themselves, okay, maybe we can actually do something here,
And the
let's
thing
have a
is,
go.
the Sharks had territory. They had. It's just that they didn't have a cutting edge. They didn't
Yeah,
have.
they were flat in
Yeah,
that
it
sense.
wasn't clinical. They had territory and they were in the Bulls 22 and everything, but they just didn't have that cutting edge. And it turned out
Yeah,
that the Bulls were the ones that were even running it from their own 22, that kind of thing. So
yeah.
that's also the thing where it's like they're gonna come against teams that are more clinical. And
Mm,
it's those soft patches. They have everything except for those soft patches, and that's what makes me hesitant, to put them
yes.
ahead of the Stormers in that way. Everything else, they've
Yeah.
got the waves of attack, good set piece, they've got the creativity, they've got everything
Mhm.
in this team, they've got the depth of the squad. It's just they switch off at times.
Yeah, that's the thing, we've been hopping on about it to say, you know, a better team will you give them that snuff, they'll take it, and they'll make it hard
Yeah.
for you. We saw it we saw it in the Master games, the games even at home at Loftus. That's why, as much as Benetton, I think yes, they should win, but it won't be the same type of game as
Yeah,
they
even
had,
Benetton got within 10 around,
Yeah,
I think the Bulls have scored like five tries, and then Benetton got within 10. And then I
yeah,
mean from there they pushed on, but it's like you can't be you can do that against
um,
Benetton. I don't know if you can do that against other teams getting deeper and
yes.
deeper into the competition.
That
But
yo-yo like
yeah,
performance. But look, I think it was a good a good game for them against the Sharks. Tough game.
yeah,
It wasn't easy. Definitely there was hits out there. Because for a long time it was what 12-7. Just close score
yeah,
line. At one some stage it was within five. So a lot for them to work on, build on. I think the end of the day, look, Sharks had nothing to lose. They tried to go for
yeah,
it. Some people were told to jive her. So it was the weekend in any case. So
yeah,
yeah, man. I think if the Bulls could just tighten up just on that switch on, switch off, they should be okay. Yeah, going
yeah.
forward.
Yeah, I mean, just one thing to point out in the game was that the scrum against a Bok front row, how well the Bull scrum was
Yeah,
doing. It's. I mean,
yeah.
granted, these guys have had another kind of a week, but it's still it's impressive from their front row, who I suppose also are a Bok front row, but not the Bok front row.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think look, it was more. This game was more for the Bulls in terms of. I think it meant more for the Bulls in terms of what they, log position, things like that. And at the end of the day, they got what they wanted out of the game. In terms of,
Yeah,
yes, the result. And there were good. There were performances out there. Let's not take that away. You could see guys. They've got that. It's just that as a collective, if they can just keep that on button, the Bulls are
mm,
dangerous. But because right now they're not on and they're not consistently on, it's very difficult to keep on just to put your whole house on them.
yeah.
Maybe just the gate.
Papier as well. Hey, he keeps guys honest around the rocks there. But
Around the
yeah,
fringes, we saw that. Yeah,
yeah, fully expect. I'm expecting the same kind of results as the last
for South
Benetton game.
Africa,
Yeah. Any
for
any
South Africa,
closing remarks from you, Chris?
for South Africa. That's the one. It's for South Africa.
That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening.